In the heart of Green Hill Estate, a beautiful young lady named Isabel sat silently in her family's luxurious living room. Everything sparkled, the marble tiles, the golden lights, the fresh roses on the table. But Isabel didn't smile. Her hands held her phone loosely as she scrolled. She had just returned from a friend's engagement party. Everyone had someone. Everyone except her. Suddenly, the silence broke. Her younger cousin Melody walked in, full of pride and drama. "Still single, sis," she said with a smirk, dropping her designer bag carelessly. Isabel looked up slowly, trying to hold back her anger. "Melody, don't start." But Melody wasn't done. "You're richer than me, older than me, but still no man? Isn't that funny?" She laughed softly. "Maybe all the money in the world can't buy love after all." Isabel stood up. "Leave my house now." "Oh, relax," Melody replied, pulling out a gold invitation card. "I only came to give you my wedding invite. Front row seat? Nah, you'll sit with the other single women, at the back." That was the last straw. Isabel turned away, fuming with silent pain. She stormed into the kitchen where her mother, a gentle woman in her early 60s, was making tea. "Mama, can you believe what Melody said to me?" "What happened this time?" "She called me pathetic, said I have no man." Her mother looked at her calmly and said, "As painful as it sounds, she has a point. You're not getting younger, Isabel. I want to carry my grandchildren one day." Isabel stared, shocked. "Mama? Even you?" "The family reunion is next week," her mother added. "Your cousins will come with their husbands. Even if you don't love someone yet, bring a man. It's enough shame already." Isabel didn't say another word. She picked up her car keys and walked out of the house. 3 days later, she was driving back from a shopping mall. The family reunion was just days away, and her mind was still full of noise. Melody's voice echoed in her head. As she waited at a red light, her eyes landed on something unexpected. A young man was sitting by the roadside. His clothes were old, his hair untidy. A rusty tin cup sat in front of him. But his face, there was something different about him. Calm, handsome. She rolled down the window. "Do you sit here every day?" she asked. The man looked up and smiled softly. "Yes, ma, this is where I stay." "What's your name?" "Jude," he replied. She looked at him again and suddenly had an idea. A crazy idea. "Get in the car," she said. He blinked. "Ma, I said get in. I have an offer for you." He hesitated but stood up, picked his small tin, and entered her car. Inside her mansion. Isabel offered him tea, but Jude didn't touch it. She sat across from him. "I need someone to pretend to be my fiancé." Jude frowned. "Why me?" She continued, "I'm tired of being mocked by my family. You'll act like my husband during our family reunion. I'll teach you everything. Clean you up. No one will suspect. Ma, I'm not from your world. That's why you'll stay here until the reunion. We'll work on your look, your words, your walk." Jude shook his head. "This is too much. I'll pay you. 5 million naira now, 5 million after." Jude froze. "You're serious?" She nodded. Dead serious. He thought deeply, and then he nodded. "Okay, I'll do it." She smiled. "Good, but from now on your name is Jude Evans. You're a business consultant from Abuja." He chuckled. "Yes, madam." She raised an eyebrow. "Don't call me madam. My name is Isabel. We're lovers now, remember?" He smiled. "Okay, Isabel." She looked at him one more time. Dirty clothes or not, there was something charming about him. She whispered under her breath, "This reunion will be unforgettable." The next morning, Isabel knocked on the guest room with a towel, a new toothbrush, and fresh clothes. "Jude, wake up. Today is makeover day." He opened the door, blinking from the soft bed he had never imagined sleeping on. "Go shower. I've booked a luxury salon for you." "Yes, Isabel," he replied. "And please," she said with a smile, "try not to bow to the chef again." He laughed. Old habit. At the salon, the stylist trimmed his beard, shaped his hair, and gave him a relaxing facial treatment. When he stepped out, Isabel's mouth opened slightly. "You look, wow. Was that a compliment?" he asked playfully. "Don't get used to it," she said, turning away. She took him shopping for suits, shoes, and accessories. She spent over 500K on him. When they returned, they began the real training. "Rule number 1, she said, no begging talk. Don't say madam, don't kneel, don't beg." "Got it, boss lady," Jude teased. She laughed, but quickly added, "Rule 2, you own a tech company. Call it Evans Tech. Keep it short and believable." For days, Isabel trained him. how to eat, how to smile, how to answer questions like a CEO. And as they spent time together, something started to change. One night, by the poolside under the stars, he asked her, "Why are you really doing this?" Isabel looked at the water. "At first, I wanted to prove a point. But now, I don't know. Maybe because you make me feel seen." He looked at her. "You remind me of peace." Her heart skipped. But before she could speak, her phone rang. It was her mom. "Isabel, are you coming to the reunion? We're all excited." "Yes, Mama, and I'm not coming alone." She hung up and looked at Jude. "Get ready. You're meeting my whole family this weekend." He smiled. "I hope I won't disappoint." She smiled back. "You won't." The sun rose quietly over the Green Hill estate. Birds chirped. The mansion was quiet, but Isabel couldn't sleep. She stood by her window, sipping tea. Today was the day, the family reunion. Jude, now dressed in a sharp navy blue suit, looked every inch like a powerful CEO. His beard was neatly trimmed, his voice confident. He walked down the stairs like someone who had lived in mansions his whole life. But Isabel still felt nervous. She turned to him. "You remember everything?" Jude nodded. "Yes. Evans Tech, Abuja. You're my fiancé. We met in Dubai at a business conference." She smiled. "You even sound more polished than I do now." He chuckled. "You trained me well, coach." She stared at him for a second too long, then quickly looked away. "Let's go. We don't want to be late." At the reunion grounds, the estate was filled with luxury cars and noisy laughter. The large garden was decorated with white tents, chandeliers, and tables full of food. Isabel's relatives were all dressed in their finest. Everyone was with someone, couples holding hands, children running around, and then she arrived. Everyone turned. Isabel stepped out of the car slowly. Jude came out next, adjusting his suit, looking calm and confident. A hush fell across the garden. Even Melody, who was surrounded by some aunties, froze mid-sentence. Is that Isabel? Wait, who's the man with her?" They walked in together. People stared. Whispers followed. Some even took secret pictures. Melody walked up with fake surprise. "Isabel? Long time, and wow, who's this?" Isabel smiled confidently. "This is Jude Evans, my fiancé. He flew in from Abuja just to be here." Jude stretched his hand politely. "Nice to meet you." Melody blinked. "Oh, nice to meet you too." Her fake smile was almost painful to watch. "You never told us you were engaged." Isabel smiled even wider. "Some things are better revealed in person." All through the reunion, Jude played the part perfectly. He spoke like a leader. He laughed when needed. He carried Isabel's bag. He wiped her sweat with a soft handkerchief. Aunties were whispering, "Where did Isabel find this kind man? He's so calm, very respectful, handsome and rich. She hit jackpot." Even her father, Chief Douglas, who had never liked any man Isabel brought home, pulled her aside. "You've done well. He's impressive. I want to have a word with him later." Isabel couldn't believe it. Later that evening, Jude sat on a lounge chair by the garden fountain. A group of uncles were talking to him about business. "So, Mr. Jude, tell us more about Evans Tech," one asked. Jude smiled naturally. "Well, we help small businesses scale through digital strategy. It started as a small idea with just 3 of us, but now we consult across West Africa." Everyone nodded in approval. Isabel watched from a distance. She couldn't believe this was the same man she had picked up from the roadside. But just as things were going perfectly, something strange happened. An older man, well-dressed and quiet, stood far away under a tree. He kept staring at Jude. He didn't join the conversations. He didn't eat or drink. He just stared. Jude noticed. He whispered to Isabel, "That man in gray, he's been staring at me." She looked. "Maybe he's just curious?" Jude nodded, but deep down, he felt uneasy. As the event ended, families began to leave. Melody, defeated, left without saying much. Isabel's mother hugged Jude tightly. "You're welcome to the family, my son," he smiled. "Thank you, Ma." Her father simply nodded with pride. "Come see me tomorrow. Let's talk man to man." As they drove home, Isabel sighed deeply. "That was the best family reunion I've ever attended." Jude chuckled. "Glad I didn't disappoint." She turned to look at him. "You were perfect. I owe you." "No," he said, looking out the window. "I think I owe you for believing in me." That night, Jude stood in the guest room, staring at himself in the mirror. He wasn't just playing a role anymore. He had started feeling something real. For the first time in years, someone treated him with respect, not pity. But the moment of peace was broken by a knock. It was the maid. Sir, someone left this envelope for you. They said it's personal. Jude opened it slowly. Inside was a single note. I know who you are, Mr. Billionaire. Stop hiding. His hands trembled. He rushed outside, but didn't see anyone. Who sent this? How did they know? His mind raced. Isabel knew nothing about who he truly was. To her, he was just a beggar. But once, he had been the CEO of one of the biggest tech startups in Africa, until betrayal from a close friend brought him to the streets. He had lost everything except his identity. Now, someone had found him out. And the past was catching up. The house was quiet that night, but Jude couldn't sleep. He sat at the edge of the bed, holding the mysterious note in his hand. I know who you are, Mr. Billionaire. Stop hiding. His heart pounded. That name, Mr. Billionaire. He hadn't heard it in 2 years, not since the scandal, not since the betrayal that cost him everything. He remembered the pain like it was yesterday. Jude had once been the CEO of a tech empire, Avantech Holdings, worth billions. But his best friend, the man he trusted like a brother, stole company secrets, framed him for fraud, and disappeared. The media dragged Jude's name through the mud. His properties were seized, his accounts frozen, his father died of shame. His mother fell ill, his world crumbled, and one night, with no money, no home, and no friends, he sat by the roadside, the same spot where Isabel had found him. Now someone knew, someone at the reunion. But who? The next morning, Isabel knocked on his door, cheerful. Good morning, handsome. Ready for day 2 of victory celebration? He forced a smile. Of course. But inside he was troubled. She didn't notice. They spent the day together. They laughed, ate lunch, even went to the movies. But Jude's mind was far away. Everywhere he turned, he watched for that man in gray, the one who had stared at him at the reunion. He didn't see him again. That evening, while Isabel was watching TV, Jude sneaked into the guest room and took out a secret phone he had hidden deep in his bag. He hadn't touched it in months. The battery was almost dead, but it came on. He tapped a number. It rang twice. Then a voice answered. You finally called. Jude didn't speak. The voice continued. I was at the reunion. You look well, Jude, but you can't hide forever. Who are you? Jude asked coldly. A friend? Or maybe not. Just know, your past is knocking. The call ended. Jude stared at the phone. Who could it be? And what did they want? Meanwhile, Isabel stood by her bedroom door. She had heard voices. Jude had told her he had no phone, no family, no past. Then, who was he talking to? She didn't confront him. Not yet. But that night, she lay in bed staring at the ceiling thinking, who really is Jude? The next day, Jude walked into the kitchen early, looking restless. Morning, Isabel said, pouring him tea. He took the cup quietly. Are you okay? She asked. I just didn't sleep well, he replied. She looked at him carefully. He was hiding something. She could feel it. Later that afternoon, Isabel got a call from a private number. She picked up. Hello? A rough voice answered. You don't know me, but I know the man you brought into your house. Isabel froze. Excuse me? He's not who you think he is. Ask him about Avantech. Ask him about how he lost everything. Ask him why he lives like a beggar now. The line went dead. Her hand shook. She stared at the phone like it had burned her. That night, after dinner, she sat on the couch beside Jude. Can I ask you something? She said gently. Sure, he replied. Who are you? Really? Jude blinked. What do you mean? I mean, who were you before I picked you off that street? Jude went silent. She continued, someone called me. They mentioned a company, Avantech. Jude slowly dropped the cup in his hand, then stood up. I never wanted to lie to you. Then tell me the truth. He looked her in the eyes and began. My real name is Jude Ezekiel. I once owned Avantech Holdings. I had everything, until my best friend betrayed me. He stole everything, and I was blamed for crimes I didn't commit. He paused, his eyes wet. I lost everything, the company, the house, even my family. I slept on the streets for months. Then you found me. Isabel covered her mouth in shock. You're a billionaire? I was. Now I'm just a man trying to survive. Silence filled the room. Then Isabel stood up slowly. Why didn't you tell me? I didn't want pity. I didn't want to mix my pain with your plan. But this wasn't just a plan anymore, Jude. You're more than that to me. He looked up. What are you saying? She walked toward him, her eyes soft. I'm saying I think I'm falling for you. Just then, a stone shattered the window. They both ducked in fear. Outside, a voice shouted, "You can't hide forever, Jude Ezekiel. We're coming for you." Jude rushed to the window, but the street was empty. Whoever it was, they were gone. Isabel's heart raced. "What's going on, Jude?" He turned to her. "My past is back, and it wants revenge." The wind howled through the broken window. Glass pieces lay scattered on the floor. Jude stood frozen, staring into the dark night. Isabel's hands trembled as she pulled the curtain aside, but the street was silent. No trace of who had thrown the stone, just the note tied to it. Jude picked it up slowly. The writing was rough, rushed. "We know where you are. A Vantex thief will never hide in peace." Isabel turned to him. "Is this about your past?" Jude nodded slowly. "Yes, and it's only getting worse." The next morning, Jude and Isabel sat at the dining table, quiet. Neither touched their food. Finally, Isabel spoke. "Who are these people threatening you?" Jude stared down. "After the scandal, I heard rumors that my ex-friend, Collins, had joined hands with some dirty business cartels. He used my company name to launder money. I was blamed, but I ran because I had no one to defend me. No lawyer, no evidence." Isabel's eyes widened. "You mean someone framed you, and now they're hunting you again?" Jude nodded. "I thought disappearing would make it all go away, but it followed me here." She touched his hand. "You're not alone anymore. We'll fight this together." He looked at her, eyes soft. "But you never signed up for this." "I didn't, but maybe fate did." Later that day, a black car parked outside the mansion. 2 men in suits stepped out and rang the bell. Jude peeped through the window. His heart dropped. "Those are Evans Tech board members?" Isabel whispered. "From your old company?" He nodded. "I don't know what they want." She grabbed his arm. "Stay calm. Let's hear them out." The men sat in the living room, their faces serious. One of them, Mr. Say, spoke first. "Jude, we've been looking for you. The truth about Collins has come out. He's been arrested in Dubai. All the evidence shows you were innocent all along." Jude gasped. "What?" "Yes, we have the full report. Bank records, emails, Collins used your name, but you were clean." Isabel smiled through tears. "I told you, you didn't deserve what happened." Mr. Say continued. "The board wants you back, as the rightful CEO, but you must come forward, publicly." Jude leaned back, overwhelmed. "I need time. You have 2 days. After that, we go public with or without you." They left the file on the table and walked out. That night, Jude sat alone outside by the pool. Stars glittered above, but his heart was heavy. Isabel joined him quietly. "What are you thinking about?" He looked at her. "If I go back, the media will eat me alive. The shame, the questions. But if I don't, Collins wins even from jail." She placed her head on his shoulder. "Do it, not for the world, but for the little boy who dreamed big, the man who built something honest." He smiled softly. "You always say the right thing." She looked at him. "Because I love you." He turned quickly, surprised. "What did you say?" "I love you, Jude. It's not fake anymore. Not pretend. It's real. And I don't care about your past." Jude took her hand slowly. "I love you too, Isabel." They kissed under the stars. Jude stood in front of a camera. His press conference was live on every major news station. "My name is Jude Ezekiel. 2 years ago, I was wrongly accused of crimes I didn't commit. Today, I return to reclaim my name, my company, and my dignity." The world listened. His old staff cried. Avantex stock rose immediately. Justice was finally served. Back at the mansion, Isabel hugged him tight. "I'm so proud of you." Jude held her close. "Everything I lost brought me to what I really needed, you." Suddenly, her cousin Melody called. "I saw the news." "Wait, Jude is a billionaire?" Isabel smiled proudly. "Not just a billionaire. He's my man." Melody's jaw dropped. Click. Call ended. Jude and Isabel walked through the house, hand in hand. No more lies, no more shame, just truth and love. To be continued. Next episode, a proposal, a shocking visitor, and a wedding that almost didn't happen. If you're watching this video for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. More interesting love stories, emotional journeys, and dramatic twists are waiting for you. Tap the bell icon so you never miss a new episode from Tales by G.